Thumbnails are the first impression that your viewers get when they come across your video. So whether the viewer decides to click on the video and watch it or not is largely affected by what your thumbnail looks like. So this is why a lot of YouTube growth experts talk about investing time in your thumbnail and making sure that it is clear enough, legible enough, if there are words in it, and all that. Now, a lot of people, because they don't have some design background or they don't have like a graphic design skill, so many people tend to worry about how to create this thumbnail. And secondly, a lot of people don't have a laptop to work with, so they just have their phone, and sometimes they wonder how they can create really nice thumbnails using their phones. And that is why I'm here for you. And where are my manners? So welcome, guys, welcome, beautiful people. My name is Oge, and thank you for joining me today. If you are joining me for the first time, I appreciate that you're here today with me, and if you are returning, thank you. You are just the best. Thank you so much for being here again. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It is free, by the way, in case you don't know. It is free. Please go ahead and subscribe. And if you do love this video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps more people get to see this video. Now let's get back to the video. So before we even talk about creating a thumbnail, we need to decide what app we want to use to create that thumbnail, because there are a lot of photo editing apps that can be used to create thumbnails. So this will largely depend on you, really, what you prefer and what works for you. So many apps to use available over Photoshop for mobile, PicMonkey, Pixelbay, but my personal favorite is Canva. That's what I use even on my desktop. I use it to create not just my thumbnails, but make like simple graphic art when I need to do one. So in this video, I'll be using Canva to create a thumbnail. So if you have decided on what to use, I think the process should still be similar. But if it's Canva that you want to use, please go ahead to download Canva if you haven't downloaded it. It's a free app, although there's a paid version, but the free version is amazing. You can use it to do a lot of things. Another thing I really love about Canva is that it has a lot of templates, so you don't even need to be a designer. You don't even need to have like graphic design skills. You can just use whatever template that you choose. Template, God. You can just choose whatever template that you like and edit it to suit your video. That's all. However, if you want to work with a blank canvas and just create your own thumbnail, you can do that. Personally, I just create my own thumbnail, but there's so many thumbnails that you can pick from, edit, and work with. Now, before we decide to start creating the thumbnail, we need to remember that pictures that you use for your thumbnail is best taken separately. So don't just go pick a screenshot from your video and use it to make your thumbnail. The truth is, I've done that a couple of times because probably I forgot to take pictures for my thumbnail, and then I've taken off all my dress and makeup and everything, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it again. You can do that, but it's not nice. Take our time to take some pictures that you want to use for your thumbnail. This is if the picture you want to use in your thumbnail is yourself. If it is not any picture that involves you, then find your picture that you would love to use. There are a lot of sites that you can get good pictures from. Unsplash is one of those sites. I downloaded a lot of pictures from Unsplash. You get free pictures there. There's Pexels. You can get a lot of free images from Pexels, and you can use them for your thumbnail. This is if you want to use a picture in your thumbnail and probably add some text or something. Some other people might just want to use only text on their thumbnail. Generally, this is up to you, really. Now, the next thing that we need to go into is finally the creation of the thumbnail. For this purpose, I'll be using my phone because I'll be creating it here and sharing my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. Now, we need to bear in mind that the standard size for a YouTube thumbnail is 16 by 9. However, I love these apps just gives you the option for the YouTube thumbnail anyway, so you don't even need to remember that figure. But if for any reason you are working with, say, Photoshop, maybe you're doing your thumbnail on your laptop and maybe you're using Photoshop or InDesign or Adobe Illustrator or anything really that doesn't give you options, specific options for YouTube, for Instagram, like a lot of these mobile apps do, then you need to know the exact size that your thumbnail should be. Now let's get into our app, and we can simply search for YouTube thumbnail. YouTube thumbnail, and we can choose that. Now when we choose the YouTube thumbnail, it gives us a lot of templates, so many templates. A lot of them are free, some are paid, but most of them are free really. So you can see them written already. They tell you which one is free. The one that is not free, you see it's not free. The one that is free, you can see it written on it that is free. So you can pick any of this template really and edit it to suit what you want. Let me assume that I'm picking a template. Personally, I create my own, but let me assume that I'm picking a template, and let me just pick this one just to show you how that works. So you have this open, and you can simply just edit it. You can come here and click on the text, and you can change it to whatever you want to have there. YouTube thumbnail, you can change this to your picture if that's what you want. You can do anything really. You can change the color of this to whatever color. You can pretty much do anything really. That's the white stress. Okay, so this is basically what you can do if you're working with a template. Choose any template and modify it as much as you would like to. Now, at the bottom part of your Canva mobile, you see different things that you can do. You can replace a picture, you can delete a picture, you can change the color, you can animate. If you click on the plus sign, it gives you so many things that you can do, elements that you can add, galleries to take you to add pictures, uploads as things that you already have uploaded that probably you just want to reuse. Text, you can add different text. There's so many things that you can do that this tells you. However, like I said earlier, I prefer to create my own thumbnail, not using the template that is there already. Let's just go back to the YouTube thumbnail and click on blank canvas. This is my personal preference, and you can do any other thing that you want. Now I'm going to bring in my picture, the picture I had taken earlier. Remember, I said take a lot of pictures, and choose what it is that you want. I had edited the picture already to suit what I wanted, made it a little bit clear. Now, what I do when I take my pictures, I just put my phone like I'm recording myself, and I just record a video, pose different styles, then screenshot the ones that I prefer or that I like, choose my favorite out of those ones, and that's what I use. Then I can edit it, I can make the picture a bit clearer, less blurry or anything that I think is wrong with the picture. So now I've brought in my picture and I want to edit it. So let's fill up this screen now with a picture. Now, this you should take your time to do. You're not in a hurry. Take your time and fix it where you would like to have it. And I prefer to have my text on the left hand side of my video. So let me flip it. Left hand side of my thumbnail rather, not video. Okay. So I have that. Now I can now I can add other things. So usually I have a band, like a frame around my thumbnails. Now let me add those frames. I add those frames, the frame, oh my god. I usually do that using the line, and I just make this line weight a little bit thicker. So I'm working with 12, and then I'll just make it longer. Now the disadvantage that we know already with working with phone is that with working with your mobile for all of this is that it can be it can be time consuming. You need to be patient. So I've duplicated this, and I'm clicking duplicate again, and I'm rotating this, and I'm moving this to the side, and I'm duplicating that again to make it easier. This requires some patience. Now I'm changing the color because I don't usually use black around as my color. So let me choose this color, and so if I change one, I can decide to change all at once, and it just changes, but it's not the exact color I want. So I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. I like my color a little bit darker, so it tells me to change all again. So I'm changing all. Now this is my frame. The next thing, I'm simply adding text. Now my thumbnails, if you notice, they are really simple thumbnails. You just see a picture and you see exactly what you're expecting to see in that video, the title that is going to be summarized in words. So now I'm about to add text. So let's add text. So we click on text. You can decide to choose from the various text formats that you have, or if you have a particular text in mind, you can just search for it. I honestly don't have any text in mind, so let me just look and see if there's anyone that I like to use. Now I can't remember the name of the text that I normally use, but let me use this. It looks like what I will use. Okay, so now my thumbnail, I don't have too much text, so this is a group already. I want to break this group so I can delete this little part of the text. So I'm just using the main text. So if you see here, you can see how you can manipulate this text. There's on group, which usually shows you if there's like a group of elements grouped together. So I'm ungrouping it because I don't want this, so I'm deleting this. Now this is what I want to use, and now I'm going to change my text now to what I will write on my thumbnail, and I want to make the title I want this in capital letters. Create thumbnail with your phone. Now I told you can always reduce this text size. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now this text is in the center. I want everything to the side, We already know how that works for text, so we can click on format, and here I can simply take it to the place that I want it to be in. Now I'm going to make it this a little bit bigger because, yeah, so you can see what is written on the thumbnail from wherever it is that you are, as big as possible. Yeah, tack, tack. Now the next thing I usually add to my thumbnail is I like to add boxes underneath the text. That I just started doing recently, but I think it makes the text pop a bit more. So I'm going to be adding those boxes now using the elements. So in elements, I have this. Now I can come here and make this smaller. I can move this a little bit more. Remember, you can always zoom to work. Sometimes these things can be a little bit difficult to manipulate because the screen is really small. So let's work with this. Now I'm moving this to the back. I don't want it to stay like in front, of course. So let's click on position. If you scroll, you see position. So I'm taking it to the very back, so backwards. Now we see that we have this. We can make this a bit, yeah, I'm trying to make it like as equal as possible. Okay, I want this to be white. I don't want everything to change, of course. Now I want to duplicate this so I can have it on other places as well. So the same process you're just going to keep doing, repeat the process as often as is needed, really. This color, and let me have it in the color I had before, and just take it backwards now, like like we did earlier. The same thing I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate it again, move it down again. You're just simply going to do as much. Like I said earlier, you don't have to do this really. You can do whatever you want, really, but this is how I do mine. Yeah, so backwards. Now the last bit I'm duplicating again, and I'm reducing this, and I'm having this in the other color again, and I'm sending this backwards. And really, that's just pretty much it, really. So for my thumbnail, tada, my thumbnail is ready. I don't have too many things going on my thumbnail. So once you see my thumbnail, you can recognize it immediately what is going on. Can recognize immediately what's going on the thumbnail. You can change the color of the text if you want. You can do whatever it is, whatever editing that you want. I hope that this has given you like a general idea of how to work with Canva to create your thumbnail. So now that I'm done with my thumbnail, I'm just simply going to download my image. It's saved. I'm saving. Tack, 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 tack. It's saving. It's saving. It's saving. It's saving. And that's it. So if I go to my images now, I go to Canva images, I can see the thumbnail that I have just created, downloaded on my phone, and with this I can upload to my video as my video thumbnail. I can upload it on YouTube as my video thumbnail. In the next video, I'm going to be telling you how to change the thumbnail for your YouTube videos using your phone, using the YouTube Studio app on your phone. Now, a lot of times we know that when you're uploading videos using your phone, there's no right now there's no option to include thumbnails on that video using your phone, except you're uploading using the desktop site. Then you can do that. But I'm going to be telling you how you can now change the automatic thumbnail that has been selected for the video. You can change it after you have uploaded. That I'll be telling you how to do in the next video, so do well to watch out for that video. Meanwhile, I decided to invest in a mic, and I want to get your feedback on what my audio sounds like. Do you think it is better than the previous videos, the audio on the previous video? I'd like to get your feedback on this mic to know, should I continue using it, or should I just go back to my original audio that I was using? I think it actually sounds pretty decent. I did a few tests before recording this video. I think it sounds good, but I also like to hear your feedback as well.